This week we had Willow Springs in Daily Race C, and I know I've already done a video on it, but what I haven't done is actually improve my qualifying time, which is, I guess, not the best move. In the next few of my races, I ended up starting at the back of the field, and that is really never ideal here. I really tried to squeeze in some qualifying laps between the races, but there just wasn't enough time. I did manage to improve a little, but not enough to make a real difference in my starting position. And in a race like this, with qualifying times insanely close as they were, that matters actually a lot. In most of my races, everyone was within 2, maybe even 3 tenths. So gaining any kind of gap was nearly impossible. And pulling away was even harder at this point. So I ran a few races, had, I'm going to say it, a couple of unfortunate moments, because keeping this car on the road here is definitely not easy. But then came this race. I started in P11, again, with kind of not the greatest qualifying time, and in any other lobby it might have been okay, but here it meant actually starting at the back of the field. Still, I think this one turned out to be one of my best races of the entire week. So I think it's finally time that we have a look. Yeah, I definitely need to improve my qualifying. Let's go. Let's see. I think I might even need this. Okay, let's stay with them. I have 3.6 seconds to the lead. And that's tough. And after surviving the first lap, which hasn't always been the case in some of the races, I found myself running very close to P10. I mean, it's not ideal since my qualifying pace should have put me higher, but somehow I managed to stay in the fight. The lap times were actually looking pretty strong, and even the gap to the leader started to shrink. And as usual here, when the margins are this thin, things actually start to heat up. So you can really feel the tension building, and even from the distance you can see the whole field bunching up. And unfortunately, the leader was starting to pull away. But with 10 cars packed so closely together, it was only a matter of time before something happened. Oh, someone is off the track there. Come on, come on, come on. And unfortunately, we had our first victim of the race, which is never a good sign. I knew I had to stay glued to the group, because if I lose them, I would also lose the slipstream, and that's crucial here. But like I said before, the entire pack is running that close, and it's just a matter of time before things start to unravel. And at that point, the real battles had officially begun. Ah, but which way to go now? Look at this. Got it. I have to cover my position and also attack at the same time. And the gears are so weird on this car. And just a quick note about that. If you've ever driven this car, you probably know that the gears are really strange. Sometimes it feels like you're in second, but it's actually 4th gear on the way out. Somehow though, it still works. The gear ratios are very unusual and the torque is, well, different, I guess, than other cars, which makes the car really tricky to handle. And I think that's why it's so easy to misjudge your gear shifts and even with that one small mistake, you can easily spin out and completely ruin your race. But if you're in a higher gear at the right moment, you might just save it and hang on for just about another lap. So it's tough, and actually knowing the right gear is quite difficult each time. But for me, the key in this race was just to stay on the track and keep it together. Things were actually starting to look pretty good, and I mean, it wasn't a win, but a top 10, yeah, it's okay. But I think I can actually do better. A bit of damage on the bumper, but okay. Oh! And there we go, I guess. P8. What a race so far, and only 4 laps in. Unfortunately, I got damaged, so... okay, damage repaired itself. And with damage, I honestly thought I was going to lose the pack up ahead. And usually, once you've got damage, you carry less speed down the straights, and the car just doesn't have the top end it normally would. But somehow, I managed to keep up and even started closing the gap. And I think the part of the reason was that the GTR in the front was beginning to struggle with tires. And that car isn't exactly the best choice for this track. It just lacks the cornering capability that you need here. That's why the BRZ is probably the best option. In the right hands, though, GTR can actually work, no doubt. And I think the driver in front, Turismo, is one of the very few that can actually make it work. But the tire wear and the other limitations of the GTR were starting to show. And as the battle in front of me heated up, I suddenly saw a chance, maybe even a chance to potentially get a place or two. Yeah, the GTR is struggling here. Go, 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 go. Done and done. I don't think the GTR is working here. No, it's faster on the straights, but in the corners... no way. Bad positioning. Done, but now he has the speed. Okay, you know what? But I'm in the top 5. And that is definitely not bad. And starting from P11 isn't bad at all. And with a little help from Turismo, which gave me a push, I was already catching the group up ahead. Or actually, it was P4. With the pit window approaching, I decided to stay out for one more lap, and I think this move paid off. So using the slipstream gave me a bit of an edge, and staying out meant that I would actually have slightly fresher tires for the second stint of the race, and that could really make a difference in the end. So oddly enough, even on worn tires, I was actually getting some purple sectors, which was definitely a surprise, but I guess it worked. So then came the pit, I got the fresher tires, and well, it's finally time for that final charge and eventually even trying to get onto the podium, because I think it's possible here. Luckily, he's going to get new fresh tires. Let's see, I'll probably be in front of the GTR. Yep. Oh, yeah. I think someone still needs the pit in front of us. But it's good, it's good, it's good. Again, the few places, that's good stuff. This wasn't that great. And this overcut actually worked. Somehow it got me right on the back of P5. But there was still that one driver ahead who hadn't pitted yet, which meant I was effectively running in P5. And now it's actually better for P4 and maybe a podium later if something amazing happens. So that realization hit quickly, and if I wanted to make something happen in this one, I had to start pushing. Oh yeah, let's do it. P4. It's gonna be tough to defend now, but who knows. And from here on, this was actually the toughest part of the race, because being behind someone actually gives you that help of the slipstream. And sometimes it creates that false sense of speed. You start thinking that you're actually quicker than the car ahead, but in reality, it's just the toe pulling you forward. And this track is full of those long straights, so it's easy to trick yourself into believing you have actually got the pace. But the real challenge now was really staying sharp, keeping the car on the road, and trying not to play in the sand, and actually defending my position without overdriving the car. So I actually managed to do that in the next 2 laps, and even got a couple of purple sectors on the way. So then, in the next lap, out of nowhere, there was a small incident up ahead. And I have to say, it completely caught me off guard. And wait a second! Oh, he's off the track! And of course I had to watch the replay of that moment, and it was really one of those classic racing mistakes. I've done something very similar myself, and when it happens, you just lose about 15 to sometimes even 20 seconds, and there is actually no way to recover it cleanly. And after that, we had a few more laps to go, and things were actually starting to look pretty solid for me. I started pulling away from the guys behind, building a very solid gap. Then, with just a few laps left, there was a little incident at the back, and that gave me even more breathing room. So I was able to extend the lead and lock in the podium. Lap times were actually pretty consistent, pace was strong, and honestly going from P11 to P3 is something I can actually be really happy about. It's not something that you see every day. So with that said, for the next one, I'll definitely need to work on my qualifying, because starting higher would actually improve my chances of getting a solid result. And I think I have the race pace. And in this race, every 10th counts, and even every 1,000th of a second counts. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, click that like button, or you can potentially even consider subscribing to the channel, as it's growing bigger than ever. So thank you very much for that as well. So guys, I think this just shows you that anything is possible, and all you have to do is just try to avoid playing in the sand, I guess. Final corner, let's not spin. Taking it a bit easier than usual. Yeah, P3 from P11. P3 from P11. Yeah, I enjoy races like these, for example. The one before wasn't that great, but yeah, this was okay. 8 places. 8 places in this one.